right ahead and get started. All righty, folks, this is Dr. Mike, and thank you for joining us for the power of video to attract MET clients. Folks, if you actually are attending this webinar, you're attending because you received a notice from me via Facebook. And that Facebook notice was a Facebook Live video. And if you showed up today, that means that you got that Facebook Live video and you are ready to go. Now, that shows you the power of video. And we found that video can be an extremely great power in attracting medical exercise training clients. Now, as you guys know, my name is Dr. Michael Jones. I'm the president of the Medical Exercise Training Institute. I'm the guy who started this whole MES thing years ago. So what we're going to do is talk about how video can help you in our facility, the facility that I actually help manage in Houston. I don't own it, help manage in Houston. We've used video successfully to now attract referral sources as well as clients. We're going to primarily focus on clients today. All righty. How to attract MET clients and referrals without fear and expensive time-consuming gimmicks. I know every time you go to a seminar, you go to a workshop or a conference, there's somebody there talking about, hey, we'll get you clients and we'll do this, 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 and this, and it'll cost you thousands of dollars. Or what I found is in many instances, it takes a million different steps and processes and designers and coders to do something, and it doesn't work. We found that video really is the thing that works and works well. So I'll give you a little bit of information on that. Now, our program is the power of video to attract MET clients. If you go over to medicalexercisetrainingvideo.com, you can get more information. But before you do, let's talk about how to make it easier to attract clients. Now, as I said, the facility that I'm associated with, where we actually have our headquarters in Houston, Medical Fitness Pros, Jason Hodge there has found that utilizing video has become extremely beneficial in him attracting clients. But the bigger thing that we're finding is you've got to have some pieces in place to make that video work. And I've found as I've talked to our MESs around the world, it seems to be there's a few things that every medical exercise specialist, to some degree, I'll say, is lacking or is not including in this process of developing their video outreach. So medical exercise training is growing, but attracting clients is the new frontier. Folks, whether you are on the right or the left, or you're red or blue, or you're purple, or you're not involved in a political process, you're not in the United States, our healthcare systems around the world are in danger. They're busting at the seams. The baby boomers, of which I'm one, we're getting to the point now where we're starting to utilize medical services more. But more importantly, we're now starting to realize that those things that we did in our 20s and 30s, or the lack of things we did in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, is now catching up with us. Which is why you, our medical exercise specialists, are so busy, because you got all these clients with arthritis and back injuries and hip replacements and knee replacements and diabetes and all this other good stuff. And the healthcare system, we're seeing major changes in government and insurance carriers to help manage these individuals. But still, the problem is for you, the medical exercise specialist, is attracting clients. This stuff is growing, but you got to attract them. So I'm Dr. Michael Jones, as I said before. I'll tell you a little bit about me. What gives me the ability to do all of this stuff? Now, if you look here, this is me in the facility in Houston, Medical Fitness Pros. The gentleman here on the far right is Jason Hodge, the owner. The gentleman here in the middle is Michael McCaskey, one of our recent medical exercise specialist graduates. I had the great opportunity of presenting Michael with his certificate. And that's me on the far left here, Dr. Mike, or Michael Jones. I've been a physical therapist now for 32 years. I haven't practiced in a number of years because when I started this back in 1994, it grew far greater than we anticipated. I've owned physical therapy clinics and fitness centers, and actually the whole idea for this idea of medical exercise training and the medical exercise specialist certification came from one of the facilities I owned in Washington, D.C., because we had a space where we had both physical therapy and a fitness center together. And I realized the key thing was how we can make those two collaborate together. As I said, I'm the creator of the Medical Exercise Specialist certification. I've helped MET practices around the world develop and also market them. I actually founded the MedX Pro Network, which a number of our MedX Pro Network members are on this call. And so far, we've had 10,000 plus people around the world that have completed our medical exercise training courses. So this idea of medical exercise training is here to stay. Now, along the way, though, folks, I've done a lot of wrong things. So what I'm really going to talk about today are some of the wrong things I've done and some of the right things I've done. So I've done a lot of right things, but I've done a lot more wrong things. And some of these wrong things, after 23 years, I've realized here's what I should be doing. You must have a message if you're going to market your medical exercise training practice out there. You got to have a message. You have to know what your clients' needs are. You got to actually cater to your clients' needs. And their needs are, especially for that baby boomer generation, they have problems with movement, they have problems with pain, and they have problems with function. Recently, I was with one of our MESs in Victoria, British Columbia. Very good friend of mine, Rich Gafter. He and his wife, Kelly Gafter, own a facility there, MedX Personal Training and Wellness Center, right there in downtown Victoria. I was there for a few months when we shot the MES program, and I asked a number of Rich's clients why they were coming in. Here's what they universally said. They said they were coming in because they wanted to move better, they wanted to be more mobile, and they wanted to have less pain. They want to be more active. So you've got to address the needs of your clients. It's all about them. It's not about you at all. It's not about your certifications, about how much you can lift and how you like to train. It's all about them. And I'll just simply say, F it. Tell them what you do. I find this is the biggest problem for our MESs. You don't want to tell the world what you do. Folks, you're the best kept secret in healthcare. Exercise. And someone that now is a specialist that has been trained and has the title medical exercise specialist. Folks, we got companies out there that are fighting with us for this title. And you got it. And more importantly, you got it and you aren't using it. What I want you to start doing is get out there and get your message out to people. You're helping these folks. You're producing outcomes for them. So just tell them what it is that you do. And more importantly now, what I've learned over these last 23 years, video is king. And folks, the mistakes I made include the following. I loved brochures, white papers, and correctness. I loved the hard way. But the hard way was, yeah, we would have brochures, we'd have white papers. I even had one of our MESs this morning shoot me a text message. She's in our mastermind group, and she was talking about her brochure, and she was going to go back and make some corrections to it and add pictures. And I was like, no. The bottom line here is nowadays people do like brochures. They like white papers, but people like something better. They like video. Because that old stuff, the brochures, the white papers being correct is boring. It's all about you, and they totally miss your point because you're not talking about them, the client. Folks, when people come to you and they've got arthritis or back injuries or knee injuries, after they finish physical therapy, they're looking at this saying, it's all about me. What can I do to help me get back? They finished with physical therapy. The therapist gave them some exercises on a sheet of paper, and they magnetized them to the refrigerator. They now are looking for you because they're up on their computer looking around for what they can do about their Parkinson's, about their stroke, what they can do about their knee injury, their arthritis, their hypertension or diabetes, or just losing weight. They come to you because they're looking for solutions. So don't give them the boring brochure. Don't tell them about all your certifications because that's all about you. They want to know what you're going to do for them, and they completely miss your point. They miss your point because they're looking at about them. So what we found is video is the secret weapon. Now, what I want to do here is I want to play a video, and give me just a second here. We got a video that we did earlier. Oh, hold on. And it's a video and it shows you the power of video. Now, I've gone over this multiple times with Jason Hodge, the owner of Medical Fitness Pros. And what we've tried to do here with Jason is really get him to understand the importance of video in getting out there and getting clients to come in the door. So I'm going to mute this for just a second so that you can listen in and watch this video. Now, you may not hear the volume here very well, computer, okay? But this is our YouTube video. And what we've done here, got this video at Medical Fitness Pros, and it's actually, you'll see here, we actually now are talking about and explaining the process of managing the ACL reconstruction. We also have Jason's logo here. And what I'm going to do here is fast forward on this. And we're going to fast forward a little bit just so we can show you some of the highlights of this video. Now, you may not be able to get much of the volume, but you'll notice here, we're now showing this gentleman, Michael Baskin, is one of the MESs at Medical Fitness Pros, and we're talking about quadricep bulk. Mike has an ACL tear, and he's got a little bit of quadricep atrophy on this leg. This is the one that was reconstructed. With this, let me move forward. We move forward to about 410 on the page, and now we're showing some exercises. Now we're going to use this video. We put it out there on the internet, and we're using this video to attract clients. Now, just today, we posted this video. We had 8 inquiries about training in our facility because individuals had ACL tears. Folks, the key thing I want you to try to understand here is that it's all about training the client and focusing in on what it is that they have going on. So this video is all about training the ACL client. Now, if we move here to 540 on this in the video presentation, we now get to a point where we're showing Mike doing a single leg squat with just simply a suspension strap. So the key thing that we're trying to cross and mark and using the video to market to our clients is what they're going to get when they come into our facility. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to actually take these videos and put them together for you and make them available for you so that now you can start to actually utilize these in marketing your practice. So let's go here to the end. With these videos, we're even going to take them and we're going to make them available to you, and we're going to actually customize them with your name, your facility, even though I'm the one in the video, but I'm the guy who started all of it. And we're talking about the importance of this on the internet. So we'll customize with your name, your contact information, so you can now post this video on your website. Now, let's go back here for just a second. This is why video is the secret weapon. Video makes everything work. It explains to the client exactly what's going on. So with that, there are a couple of key things. There are 5 secrets to attracting MET clients with video. First one is you must have a message. The message you want to convey is that medical exercise training is essential. Medical exercise training is the important thing to do after you finish with physical therapy, chiropractic care, medical care, because exercise is the key to long-term management of most medical conditions. You've got to get that in your message. Secret number 2, you've got to focus on long-term management. Not just simply tell the client, come in for a couple of days and you'll feel better, but you've got to get them to understand long-term. Now, the reason we mention this is because we recently got through a recession. Now the American economy and the economy around the world is coming back. But one of the things we saw during the downturn of the economy or the recession was a lot of our medical exercise specialists were able to withstand the economic downturn because they focused in on clients that realized exercise was key in long-term management. So as a medical exercise specialist, marketing with video, you got to get that in there, that exercise is the key to long-term management. You got to talk about that in your video. Secret number 3, you have to make the exercise about their condition. Not just simply exercise, but exercise that specifically meets their needs. Remember, folks, what we said. These folks are coming in and they're saying, hey, I got a medical condition. What are you going to do for my condition? I was talking to a gentleman yesterday as we were going over this presentation. He has an old ACL tear, played at the University of Nebraska, old ACL tear. And he basically told us, when I go in and I want to get something done for my knee, I just want the practitioner to tell me what they're going to do, how long it's going to take, and then I'm basically going to turn my body over to them and I'm going to trust them. As long as they don't make me any worse, I'm going to trust them. And I want the exercise to be about my condition. That's what this gentleman told us. He's one of the clients. Secret number 4, you need to estimate the frequency, duration, and the outcomes and tell the client this. Folks, if you've been doing this for a while, you know what's going to happen when you see a client who's 25, 30 pounds overweight, and he or she has a demanding job, and they've got a wife or spouse or husband that's very demanding. You can probably tell after 2 or 3 sessions if this person is going to be compliant and stick with the program because you've seen it so long. One of the problems I think our MESs have is we're reluctant about saying, well, based on my experience, this is what should happen. Now, let me ask you a question. When you go to the doctor, you want the doctor to give you an idea of what this surgical procedure should produce. You don't want the doctor to say, well, it depends on you. You want the doctor, the therapist, or the chiropractor to say, we're going to do this many times for this long, and this is the outcome we're going to get. We've got to start doing that with medical exercise training, and that's the secret you got to put into your video. And number 5, you've got to now start telling clients and medical referral sources, MET is the next logical step. Now, folks, some of you have heard this story before. I have a brother who recently had a total hip replacement. He's a football coach and basketball coach in the Washington, D.C. area. He has this hip replacement, and with the hip replacement, he has the hip replacement done in May. Football practice starts in August. Now, as a football coach, he's standing around out there all the time. He is just kind of watching the players and coaching. He's not playing, but he's up on his feet for 2 or 3 hours at a time, and he does this twice a day when practice starts in August. So he has a hip replacement. After the hip replacement, he gets home physical therapy. Then he gets outpatient physical therapy for a total of 30 days. After that, he's on his own. His surgeon was a good friend of mine. And I said, hey, you know what I think for my brother would be a good thing if you refer him to one of our MESs, medical exercise specialists. Doctor wasn't familiar with the idea. I explained it to him. He made the referral. And my brother was able to actually participate and attend all the practices from August 15th until the beginning of the football season. And he did very well, and he's never had a problem. The key thing is, the doctor said it as we were talking. As I'm explaining to him what medical exercise training is, when physical therapy ends, this begins. The doctor said it to me. He said, medical exercise training, I guess, is the next logical step. You've got to convey that in your videos, folks. You've got to get that across. Now, got a couple of ideas here, or a couple of scenarios we've seen over the last couple of years that have worked well with these secrets of video. Now, if you want to actually have one of these videos set up for you, we actually have a club that you can join, so that once a month you're going to receive a video just like the one we just showed you that will have your contact information on it. Now, if you didn't hear the volume very well, you'll actually have volume in the video. We'll send that to you, and you can actually upload that to your website, to your blog, to your Facebook page, and it'll be all about what you're doing with clients. We've planned on producing videos on managing stroke clients, Parkinson's, back surgeries, arthritis, a number of different conditions, hypertension and diabetes along the way. So you can go over to medicalexercisetrainingvideo.com to actually sign up if you want. And let's talk more about these secrets. So the first secret we said was have a message. Too many times we're relying on our brochures to attract people. Folks, you got to have a message. You got to get out there and tell your clients, hey, if you come to me, we're going to use this medical exercise training to help you improve your level of function, to improve your flexibility, to improve your endurance. We're going to take over where your physical therapist and chiropractor and physician left off, and I'm going to collaborate with them to produce a program that's safe and effective for you. Folks, you've got to step into that role and say, hey, I'm the expert here, and here's my message. And that message has to be across all platforms you're using, including your brochure, your website, and your videos. Secret number 2, focus on long-term management. As I said earlier, instead of telling the client, well, for next month or so, we're going to do this, you've got to lay out the entire program to the client and tell them how this program you're putting together will help them long term, and more importantly, how your program may have to fit into their life long term. Third secret, make it about exercise that's for their condition. So make the exercise all about their condition. Too many times I hear fitness professionals, I still go to gyms occasionally, I hear fitness professionals telling clients things about their conditions, but they're actually working on the edges of the condition. They're just doing enough just to say, well, we kind of touched on the condition. As a medical exercise specialist, you've got this information and training to provide detailed exercise programs for clients so that we can improve on their medical condition, their functional levels. Now, we're not saying take the place of the physical therapist or the chiropractor, but certainly you can provide a program that will optimize what the physical therapist, chiropractor, and physician have done and keep this client moving forward. Again, go over to medicalexercisetrainingvideo.com if you want to get personalized videos for yourself. You'll get one video a month. Secret number 4, as we mentioned earlier, estimate frequency, duration, and the outcomes the client will get. This is a big one. People are coming to you and they're paying cash money or credit cards, whatever the case is. Write your check, whatever it is. But they're saying, I want you to give me an outcome. And people are going to say, well, how long do you think? And they don't want to hear, well, I don't know, it depends. They want to hear your professional opinion. How often should I come? How long should I come? And what outcome will I get? But you want to actually frame this from the standpoint, if you follow everything I tell you to do, you come this many times a week for this period of time, this is what you're going to get. That's what folks are paying you for. They don't want, I'm not sure. They want specifics. And in these videos, you got to put those in. And then lastly, again, MET is the next logical step. Folks, when people finish physical therapy, I got a friend of mine contacted me a couple of days ago. The doctor has informed him that he needs to have spinal surgery. Actually, he has a couple of cervical disc herniations, 3 cervical disc herniations. The doctors informed him that he needs to have surgery done. So he called me and asked, he says, hey, I'm going to have this surgery. How long should it take? What's going to happen? All those types of things. Well, I explained to him what was going to go on with regard to the surgery. I gave him an idea how long the frequency and duration would be for physical therapy. But then I told him, after therapy is done, you're going to need to continue on with exercise. I'll help you find a medical exercise specialist in your community. And this exercise is going to be an extension and an augmentation of what you did in physical therapy. Again, his thought immediately was, that's the next logical step. Ironically, I talked to his physician this morning. Physician is an old friend of mine from the Washington, D.C. area. Guess what he said? Well, I guess this is the next step after physical therapy is done. Folks, not everybody knows about medical exercise training out there. You've got to be the educator. You got to tell them about this. So in your video, talk about how MET is the next logical step. So with that, these people in this picture have started using video to some degree. Now, this is our medical exercise specialist mastermind group. This is actually at our facility in Houston. And this mastermind group are all the individuals, they're all in private practice, and they've all come together and we've started talking about this idea of using video. So let me point out a couple of people here. This is Yuli Balani. Yuli is one of my good friends. I've actually met him and his family in New Jersey. Fine gentleman. He's from Albania. Become a good friend of mine. Actually, we have something in common. I was a paratrooper here in the United States Army. Yuli was a paratrooper in the Albanian Army. We instantly became friends. Well, about 2 months ago, Yuli produced a video of a client climbing the stairs in the facility he works in. Now, Yuli has a very unique practice. He provides services in extended living facilities, not nursing home facilities, but extended living facilities for seniors. They're independent there. They're extended living. They're independently living there. And these facilities are pretty expensive. So what Yuli does, he works with clients after physical therapy is done. Well, in this particular scenario, Yuli had been working with a woman who had sustained a stroke. She had gone through physical therapy, and Yuli started working with her after. Well, Yuli shot a video of this woman climbing the stairs. From what I understand, he showed that video to the client's family, and they were just amazed at what he did. That now places or puts Yuli in a position of being the expert in managing this particular condition, which was a stroke or CVA, for clients after physical therapy is done. Let me tell you about some of our other folks here. All right, there's Ernie Schaumeyer. Actually, Ernie was texting me back and forth when we were having difficulty. I know Ernie now for about 20 years. Ernie took our very first course in Canada. He came down for our mastermind group. And Ernie owned a facility, had multiple trainers working with him, got tired of that, closed the facility down. He opened up again, and he's now doing one-on-one medical exercise training. He's getting the same results, but guess what? For Ernie, he does a lot of work with writing newspaper columns, but now he's starting to add video. A couple other folks here, and there's yours truly right there with the group. Let's see here. Let's introduce you to Phil Godfrey and Don Allen. This is actually Janae, one of their staff members that came down with them. They own medical exercise trainers in Washington, D.C. They've been doing this for a long time, attracting clients. They put videos out on their website. Those have come in. Now, this gentleman right here at the top, this is Jason Hodge. Now, Jason is the owner of Medical Fitness Pros, where we host our medical exercise summit every year. And Jason has done a great job, and he's the one who's actually kind of the catalyst behind this, because he wanted to start shooting some video to attract clients. And I started giving him the idea of these are the secrets you need to put into the video. So this stuff has worked. A couple other people here. There's Vanessa Stewart. Vanessa's from Wichita, Kansas. And Vanessa is a Pilates instructor. She's got her MES. Now she's starting to see clients in her home. She's got her own private practice going on. This is Tony Avila. Now, Tony does a lot of video out on the internet. Tony owns the Body House in Staten Island. And Tony, I hope I said that right. Tony used to work on Wall Street, left Wall Street to open his own facility in Staten Island. Is doing a great job. This is Britt Holcomb. Now, you can see here Britt has this tiger paw on his shirt. And I got to give him credit. Clemson Tigers won the national championship, but I'm a Gamecock man myself. Anyway, Britt's doing great things in Clemson, South Carolina. He's got his own practice. This is Tanya Hayes, one of my favorite students. Tanya actually has started doing work in Plantation, Florida. She's getting clients that are being referred by doctors and therapists, chiropractors in the community. Now, another long-term friend and colleague, Amanda Harris. She owns Reconnect medical exercise training facility in Richmond, Virginia. Now, she started using some videos. She's got 3 or 4 MESs that are working for her, and she does a lot of work and gets a lot of referrals from physicians in the community, including a couple of physicians that were my graduate instructors when I was at Michigan State. This is Lisa Bro. Lisa is actually from the Houston area. She's one of our MESs, and she started getting referrals from doctors in the community. And lastly, we've got Susan Connor. Now, Susan, one of my best students. I talked to Susan this morning. Susan, and you all please clap for Susan. Susan is the first medical exercise specialist that we know of in the world, on this planet, that actually is a provider for an insurance carrier. Susan is a provider for Humana, which means clients come to her, they use their Humana insurance, and Humana reimburses her for the services. Now, there are other people in the group who've gotten reimbursement, but Susan Connor is the very first MES to actually receive insurance reimbursement, and she's part of our MedX Pro network, and part of that is our medical exercise specialist mastermind. Folks, the reason I put these people on is these are my folks. This is my family. These are my peoples. They're knocking it out the park with this idea of medical exercise training, and if you ask every one of them, the biggest thing they did was they stopped playing fitness and they started moving to the bigger stage of medical exercise training. You ask any of them, the majority of their clients now are medically based. They're getting referrals from doctors, therapists, and chiropractors in the community. That's why these 5 secrets we went over become important. They're important for video, but they're important more overall for just simply the message you're putting out there in the community. So let's talk about medical fitness pros. Now, this is a recent outing that Medical Fitness Pros had. I was in town for this. And what we did, we went to see the Body World exhibit at one of the Houston museums. Fantastic. But Jason started using video and Facebook Live to really start attracting clients. We actually shot the video I showed you earlier. We shot this maybe 2 days ago. He posted it to his Facebook page, and he's already got 8 inquiries. The idea of video being out there really works, folks. People want to know what you're going to do to them. They want to see it. They don't want to see the whole program. Just show them 2 or 3 exercises, give them an idea what you're going to do, explain the anatomy and pathology with them, explain the frequency and duration, explain the benefits of medical exercise training, and then also get into medical exercise training being the next logical step. So Jason established a message. Now, I've worked back and forth with Jason for about 4 years, and he'll probably tell you I beat him over the head talking about this message, but he's a great gentleman. He's done a great job. He's built a great staff and facility. But over time, he embraced the idea and he started putting his message out there that Medical Fitness Pros is about managing the medical condition with exercise. That takes nothing away from physical therapy, chiropractic care, nothing along those lines. He focused on the client's needs from the standpoint of their medical needs and functional needs after they have these injuries or surgeries and they've been discharged from physical therapy or chiropractic care. MET, he started to frame as being the next logical step. And some of the physicians have done this. Folks, I'm actually doing this webinar right now, and one of the internists that refers to Medical Fitness Pros just left. He was actually up front talking to Jason, talking about referring clients and some other things. Next, what Jason has seen is an increase in clients and referrals. Why? Because he stuck with the message, he started using the video, and we started seeing people coming in the door. Now, this looks like a happy group. This is primarily staff members. And this group is happy because they're getting referrals, and folks at Medical Fitness Pros, I would say probably 80 to 90% of the clients are coming in from medically based exercise programming. This stuff works if you put the message out there and you do what you have to do. Now, if you want to start using video and you don't have the background to shoot video, you don't feel comfortable shooting video, you don't have the time, you don't have the equipment, go over to medicalexercisetrainingvideo.com and you can get signed up. We're going to produce a video every month for you. We've already got a list of these videos that we're going to produce. And as we produce the videos, if you're part of the club, you're going to get a customized video with your name and contact information you can post on your YouTube channel, on your Facebook page, on your website, and you're going to get one a month. And we're going to try to have a wide range of videos available for you so you can pick the ones that work for your clients. And in each one of those videos, we're going to say the provider in your area is blank. We're even going to put your name on that video in the early stages of the video so people know exactly it's coming from you. So here's what you're going to get if you join our program. You'll get a monthly MET promo video. Normally that costs you about $300 to produce, but we'll give you the price here in just a second. You're also going to get a monthly video marketing call where we're going to talk about if you're going to post this video, here are the things you need to market in posting that video and the things you need to talk about around the video. You're also going to get your custom MET video. You could put your logo and your information on, your contact information, your phone number, your website, just like Jason had. That normally would cost you about $200. Along with that, you're going to get a 30-minute MET coaching session one-on-one with me. Now, folks, I've done this MET coaching stuff and help people build practices all over the world. I think over the last 23 years, I've probably run into pretty much everything you'll see. And I'll tell you, the folks that were in that mastermind picture I showed you earlier, they'll tell you that this MET marketing coaching works amazingly. The reason is it gives you clarity, it gives you a foundation, it gives you some key things you need to look at as far as moving forward in medical exercise training. Biggest problem we find for most of our MES is you want to do everything. You've got to start to narrow it down, get clarity, and then build on the foundation. Now, the cost for all of this, if you did this on your own, would be about $700 a month. If you join our medical exercise training video membership, it's $97 a month. And we'll produce the video to you, send it to you. You'll get the monthly call. We'll customize it. You'll get the marketing session with me. And folks, I guarantee you this video stuff works. So what's one new MET client worth? And I guarantee you're going to get more than just one client. What's one new MET client worth? When you do the calculations, and let's say you're charging $75 a session. Client comes in twice a week or 3 times a week for $75. When you start doing the numbers on that and then you stretch it out over a period of a year, it might be worth as much as $5,000. At Medical Fitness Pros, we charge $100 per session. So when you multiply that out, that comes out to about $5,000. But let's say the client is coming more frequently, or because of that one client, you get another client, or you get a physician that starts to refer. Could you make as much as an additional $8,000 a year, maybe an additional $20,000 a year? Now, let me say this. We're not guaranteeing this for you. It varies depending upon the location you're in, the region of the country you're in, if you're in the United States or Canada or someplace around the world. It depends. But here's what we do know. The medical exercise training client is a far more reliable client. And the biggest thing is if you start putting these videos out there that talk about how you're going to manage the stroke or Parkinson's or MS, or laminectomies or fusions or ACL tears, once you post that video and someone's up late at night, folks, I can tell you, people that have medical conditions are up late at night searching the internet for stuff. And let's say you type in total knee replacement, Plantation, Florida. Now, the reason I say total knee replacement, Plantation, Florida, one of our MESs, Tanya Hayes, lives in Plantation, Florida. She's a recent member of our Medics Pro network. She's been an MES now for about 2 years. So let's say someone in her community is looking for information on total knee replacement. They type in total knee replacement and exercise, and because of the way the search engines work, they're immediately going to look in that person's immediate community. And guess whose information is going to pop up? Tanya's. There's a video there showing what you're going to do with them, showing your expertise and all this other stuff. And at the end of it, they're going to give your name and your contact information. What does that do for you? And since I'm the guy that started, wrote all the protocols, it's coming from me. I'm giving you the endorsement. So if you're interested, go over to medicalexercisetrainingvideo.com. Even if you don't, start using video and start making the statement that you're a medical exercise specialist. You can manage their condition with exercise. It's about long-term, talk about frequency, outcomes, and duration. And more importantly, medical exercise training is the next logical step. So how much would you pay to get that one new client? $97 a month? Sounds good to me. We'll give you a 30-day guarantee. If you don't like the video we produce for you, call me, shoot me an email, text me. You guys know how to get in contact with me. We'll give you your money back. But I got a feeling you're going to like it. Again, go over to medicalexercisetrainingvideo.com if you want to register. Again, it's 97 bucks a month. And we're going to talk about this key thing. What it's going to do for you is the power of using video to attract new MGT clients. Again, go over there and check it out. And the biggest thing here, our goal is that we bridge the gap between healthcare and fitness. Folks, look at this diagram. We've got a physician holding a dumbbell. The physician doesn't know anything about exercise other than generalizations. But he or she does know about managing this condition and all the documentation, all the information that's in this chart. You're the exercise expert. Stop sitting in the shadows, stop thinking you don't know anything, and start going out there and letting people know what you do. You're the best kept secret in medicine, exercise. And you know how to communicate with these doctors, therapists, and chiropractors. You know how to manage these conditions. Go out there and let them start knowing what you're doing. But I know you're busy. You don't have time to set up the video and write the script and get the lighting and all that kind of stuff. Let us do it for you. We've already got everything. So use the power of video to attract your MET clients. Go over to medicalexercisetrainingvideo.com, get signed up, and we'll have a video for you within a few days. Now, if you got any questions, please, if you would, provide those in the Q&A box here, and I'll be glad to answer any questions for you. But more importantly, let me say this. My apologies for our earlier technical delay. Looks like we've kind of got beyond that now. So what I'm going to do is stop my screen share here.